Hey guys, Jennifer here with Campus Sign Designs. How are you guys doing? Sorry, I'm just like a couple minutes late. I was having some tech problems getting things set up, but I'm here. And if you are watching, let me know you're watching. Say hello and let me know where you are watching from. I am streaming this on Facebook and also YouTube. I don't normally stream this on YouTube, so this is kind of a new little thing for me, but welcome. I welcome everybody, and I am just pulling this up on my phone because I realized that last time I went live with StreamYard, there was a bunch of comments that I never saw. And I think that maybe they were people that have not previously been on StreamYard before. So I just didn't want to make sure, I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anybody's comments because I want to say hi to all of you guys. So if you are jumping on, say hello. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Michelle. How are y'all doing today? I've got a little bit of sun glare on my sign here, but this is what we are going to be painting today. This is a Sweetheart Bow door hanger. This is in my shop, and I have the link in the description if anybody would like to purchase the kit. It will come like this with also a jute hanger. This is something I designed myself. This is my own hand lettering. So you will not find this anywhere else other than in my shop. So, hey, Sheila, you had trouble finding me because I was late. I was late to the live because I was having connection problems. Sometimes you get on StreamYard and it has disconnected from your Facebook and had to reconnect it, and it's just a whole thing. And sometimes it doesn't do that. So, hey, Miss Carissa, how are you? Oh, Sheila, thank you. It's because I'm wearing lipstick. I'm wearing lipstick today. I finally got a new lipstick and I'm trying to be better at wearing it. And I'm not used to wearing lipstick. And so yeah, that's what it is. It's a lipstick. But thank you. Let's see. Sheila said, do we automatic messenger message when we comment? It shows up on my StreamYard. Y'all do. But last time I did a live, it did not show. There was a lot of people that did not show up on my screen. So I don't want to miss anybody. It makes me feel bad when I miss you guys. Comments, like I'm ignoring somebody or something. Hey, where are you, Leanne? Hey, Leanne, how are you? Hey, Carrie. Hey, Sandy. It is cold here. It is like, I don't know, it's probably like in the 40s or so today, but we are about to get another cold blast. I don't think it's going to have any snow connected. We still have snow piled up in certain areas. It has not melted all the way here. So Sheila said, you get a message every time. I do have a texting service, or maybe you're set up to get a message. I don't know. I don't have the broadcast thing, if that's what you're talking about. Facebook hasn't given me that yet. I must not be the cool kid. So right now I just have my texting service. So anyhow, I welcome all of you watching today. So as I said, making sure I didn't miss anybody's comments, I like to say hello to everybody, let you know you're welcome. And I appreciate you watching and sharing and all of the things. So this is a Sweetheart Bow door hanger. All the big bows are all the rage these days. So I wanted to design a door hanger with a bow. So I made this one here, and this is in my online shop. So in the descriptions, I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. In the description is the link to the shop if you want to buy this kit. Sheila said, no, you get a message on messengers. You know what? It's because you're using keywords that I have set up, and it's so annoying, and I'm so sorry. Anytime anybody uses the word letter or marker or whatever, just ignore those. Those are just automated They're automated messages. You should only get one of each kind once a month, but they're just set up. And sometimes people will not even say a word that's in there. Like y'all, sometimes there is no word. I'm like, I have no idea why you just got that message. It can be very irritating. I have no idea sometimes why it sends those, but it does. And here we are, because I cannot possibly get to everybody's messages, and it's just the easiest way to make sure I get links and things like that sent out to people that request them, because otherwise, you know, if we put links in things, Facebook doesn't show them. It's just a whole thing. It's a whole thing that we have to do, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. So, okay, I'm going to show you. If you purchase a kit, hey, Marilyn, if you purchase the kit, yeah, if anybody gets an automated message from me during this and it was unwanted, I'm sorry. Just ignore it, hit delete. Hey, Deb. So if you purchase a kit, you're going to get the individual lettering, so you don't have to know how to do the lettering. I also have the SVG file in my shop for sale for this, and also the door hanger template. So if you are somebody that cuts your own sign out, or you have a laser machine, the file is in there for the single line SVG file for laser cutting machines is in my shop also. So just go to my shop and you can go to door hanger templates and you can find it there. Hey, Jennifer. So if you order the kit though, you will get the words and then you will get the bow here. So you could even paint the bow on here and then just use this for something else if you wanted to. But we are going to paint it. This is a really easy sign to make. I like easy projects. So this one is going to be pretty easy. So I'm going to walk you through how to create this. If you are a member of Sign Maker Society, this purchase this in the member shop, not in the main shop, because y'all will get a discount on it. So I'm going to take some blue painter's tape, and I am just going to set my words on the blue painter's tape. It just kind of holds it still so they don't scoot across your surface as you're trying to paint them. So we're just going to do that. And I just kind of tuck the edges in here, and I'm going to stick those up there, and we'll get to those in just a minute. So I'm going to start with painting this background red, and I am going to use the three colors that I'm going to use today are Lipstick Red by Folk Art. Sorry, my bottle's a little old here. Lipstick Red. And then Pink Frosting by Folk Art. You can see that, pink frosting. And then I used a little bit of this bright pink here just for like some kind of accents on the bow. So you can use whatever colors you want. You could do this any sort of way, but I know people are going to ask. So I just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. Let me grab, and this is a newer, nicer looking bottle. That one's out. So, hey, Linda, how are you? Yes, Jennifer, you have this sign. Woo! Oh, you just had a leg vein procedure done. Well, thank you for just tuning on. You make sure you get some rest, Linda. My husband needs to get that done. I'll ask you all the questions about that. Marilyn said she ordered 2 of these kits for her grandkids. Yeah, these are really easy ones for kids to paint, and it's kind of one of those signs that you can't really mess up. So we're going to get started here. So I'm just going to paint this background red. I'm going to take this off, and we know where the lines are. This is where the bow will go, so we don't have to get all over there. We just need to get right here. And I'm just going to use a sponge brush to paint because I just feel like it's faster and easier, and I love painting with these. They give you kind of some smooth lines where you don't have to worry about brush strokes showing and all of the things. Hey, Linda. Hey, Emmy. How are you doing? I have been thinking about you so much. I'm glad to see you on here. Okay. All right. So Sheila said this one would be so much fun with glitter. We are going to glitter it up a little bit. I'm just going to go over these edges right here. It's easier than trying to like paint around that bow. I bought some fun little glitter pack here at Michael's. See that? And we're gonna put some of that on the ribbon. I didn't do it on the main one because I didn't have the glitter that I wanted, but then I found some at Michael's, so we're gonna zhuzh this one up just a little bit. So while that red is drying, I'm gonna move on to my bow here. Just trying to see where to put all these things. And what I'm gonna do is start with this pink frosting. I'm gonna start with this first. Michelle said, love me some glitter. Yeah, I have really been getting into this really chunky sort of glitter lately. I did some ornaments not too long ago in my lettering group. Like, what group was that in? In my lettering group, and we did some chunky glitter on some ornaments, and I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. So again, I'm going to use one of these, and we're just going to coat this ribbon with the pink. Pink does not cover very well, so we're going to have to do a couple of layers of this pink, but we'll just chit chat while we're doing it. So I'm just putting one whole layer, and then next I'm going to pray that I don't get any paint on my shirt today. I'm not wearing painting clothes today. I'm going to take this little tool. The ladies in my groups know, they're familiar with this. This is like an etching tool. It's got like a point on it. So if you don't have one of these, you could use a straight needle. You could use a safety pin, anything like that. But you see these little etched lines here? We're just going to take this needle and just kind of run it through those etched lines. And what it's going to do is just going to give the definition of the bow. We're just scraping all the paint out of those etched lines. And what that does is it makes them just more defined. Now, they are just kind of guides to let you know where to paint or what the shape is or whatever. But if you take that etching tool out, see, we don't have to add accents to kind of highlight that part of the bow. We can just use that etching tool and scrape out the paint. You have to do it in between layers, though. That's the only thing, because once it dries, you can still etch the paint out, but that color will settle in those lines, and you won't be able to see it as well. Hey, Miss Dixie. Oh, this is such a good idea, Dixie. Dixie said, I'm making sure you didn't say anything else. I'm missing a bunch of comments here. But Dixie said, Dixie said, sorry. Sometimes it's hard to look and paint and talk. So in my Sign Maker Society, which is my painting group, we also are doing a heart and bow banner that you could put on your fireplace mantle. And so Dixie said, put one of each of these on the ends and then put that little banner in between. That is a really, really good idea. I like that idea, Dixie. I thought about painting the heart and bow banner white with some gold accents. I don't know. I'm going to do something a little bit different with it just to give you guys some options. But yeah, this would be so cute in so many places. I love the possibility. I just love the sign. It's just really cute. And any sign that's easy to paint, we love. So I'm just going to put another layer of red on here. We want this color to be dark and vibrant and pretty. So I tend to overcoat. I like to make sure that there's plenty of paint on there and that it's covered really well and the color is nice and vibrant. So there's my second layer of red there, and then we're gonna do another layer of pink. I was trying to get away with not having to take this plastic off because usually I take it off with my teeth and y'all don't want to see that. Yeah, I like that idea, Dixie. That just means everybody else just needs to buy two. All my members need to buy two of these to go with their banners. A rag ribbon garland would look really, really cute too. It's a really good idea. Okay. Y'all are always full of great ideas. Y'all are always giving me good ideas. I love the fact that we're all so creative in all different ways, and we have different ideas to share and give one another. It's one thing I love too about my painting group is just, and my lettering group is just being able to share inside those communities and being able to inspire each other, because I don't have all the creative answers always. I wish I did, but I don't. My brain works different than y'all's brains do sometimes. And together, we're just a collective of amazing ideas. So I'm going to take my pink pokey thing. That's what Dixie has named this, pink pokey thing. And again, I'm just going to scrape out this paint from these little cracks. And again, you don't have to do this. I just like it because it almost just saves you a little bit. Saves you the hassle of having to create this look with accents. And this is going to still need one more coat. So it is what it is. Yes, Michelle. Michelle says we all learn from each other and get different ideas, and it's awesome. Yeah. Hey, Valerie. Because you can't possibly, like, when you have an idea of how you want to paint something, but you don't want to paint it until you kind of can visually see that it's going to look good. And so I love it in the groups, in both my groups, no matter what projects that we do, that we can kind of look through the group and see how everybody else did theirs. And then you can kind of visually see. I'm a very visual person. I like, as much as I can kind of think that I can see it in my head before I bring it to life, it doesn't always happen that way. Right? Like, I like to sometimes, I want to know before I paint that it's going to look good. In fact, I even had this idea for the glitter on this sign when I painted the first one, but I was like, oh, I don't know. I want to practice on one just first, just to make sure, So now I have, this is bow number 2 or sign number 2. So now I feel like I can practice. And y'all can see how I do it and make the determination if you want to do it or not. Okay, there's a piece of fuzz here. So we're basically just coating it. We're just putting one solid coat of this lighter pink on here. And then this is a little bit darker than what I did the original one. But I went to Michael's the other day and they had a whole bunch of new pinks that I didn't have in folk art. So I was like, yay. So I got them, and there was this one, and I felt like it was a really good color. So again, not to be repetitive, but here we go again. Just the same process over and over until you get a good thick layer of that paint on. Paint just doesn't cover very well. Pink just does not cover super well. So some colors will just take more coats of paint than others. And that's just the way it is. No matter what brand of paint you use, they all have their own, the coverage may or may not be what you want. So there's the pink. Now what I'm going to do is take some of this bright pink here, because I did want just a little bit of color in it. I'm going to take a little bit of this bright pink. And I'm doing this while this is a little bit wet. I'm going to get this round brush here, and I'm going to get a little bit of this bright pink on my brush. And I'm just going to kind of lightly run it around these edges here to start out with. Just kind of giving it some definition, I guess. Let me bring this over so you can see what I'm doing. So here, and then just kind of around here. Now let's say you accidentally get more than you want. So we're just going on this inside edge here. If you get more paint on the sign than you want, then we're just going to add that original color here and kind of mix the two a little bit. And then it just sort of blends the colors. So you don't necessarily see a brush line. You kind of see a blended, this piece is kind of so light too, it kind of scoots across my painting area here. So I'm going to hold it with this hand. But I'm just taking this, and then you can kind of do some little lines like that if you want. There really is no right or wrong way to do this. You just play with it, enjoy it, have fun with it. And if it looks the way you like it, then that's all that matters. Don't try to compare yours to mine, because we're all different. And in fact, this is my second time to paint it. This one will look a little bit different than my first time. They always look just a little bit different each time you do it. Hey, Crystal, I see you watching. The names of the pinks are, it's lipstick red for the red. The pink is Pink Frosting is the lighter pink. I'll hold them up and again. Pink Frosting and bright pink. So these are the two here, Pink Frosting and bright pink. If y'all can read those. It gets a little fuzzy. Take a screenshot. You can always go back. Crystal says she loves the bow. Thank you, Crystal. The bows are all the rage, right? Me and Crystal is in my business mastermind group. Y'all go follow her at Crystal Witten Studios if you like hand lettering, because she's amazing. But we were getting these trucker. We went to a hat bar. If you've ever, not like a bar like where you drink, a bar where you make things, where you have all the supplies and you get to pick your supplies. So we went to, okay, I'm going to set this aside for just now, and I'm going to go ahead and paint my words. We went to a hat bar, and again, not a alcohol bar. I'm just going to take this, you know what, I'm not going to take that one. I'm going to get a little bit smaller of a sponge here. And we were making these trucker hats. And Crystal and I were searching for the bows because the bows are so popular right now. They didn't have any pink bows, but we really wanted to find a cute pink bow, and they didn't have any. That's unrelated to anything I'm doing right now, other than the bows are popular. Maybe they didn't have any, because they had one kind of bow. I can't remember right now what it was, but they just didn't have the. But maybe they didn't have a bow because everybody already bought the bows. Sheila said she loved the trucker hats. They are popular. My head does not always look great in hats. I think it's so cute when girls can look cute in a little hat, but my head is, I don't know. Just I was having trouble. Like, I have to put it on the tightest thing, and I feel like it looks a little puffy. Crystal looked amazing in her trucker hat. Um, but we had so much fun just kind of styling them and picking out we were picking out patches. I probably should have mentioned that. Picking out patches to go on the trucker hats. I've been seeing a lot of people painting trucker hats lately. Have y'all, any of my painters out there, been seeing that? I think that would be fun to customize and paint some trucker hats. You could even do some hand lettering on it, like with a fabric marker or something. I think that would be fun. One of my followers, she posted on a Monday post, she posted some that she had hand painted, and they were so cute. And I was like, I've never even thought about doing that. Oh, Sheila, you said you've done a couple in another group. Oh, well, maybe I might have to do that in my lettering group, maybe. Hey, Candy, how are you? Hey, Janet. Janet said she loved the idea of a hat bar. It was fun. I'm not a hat person just because I feel like they look funny on my head. But it was so fun to watch and see how everybody's personalities came out in their hats. Like, everybody picked different patches or different colors, and they were all very unique to their personality. And so I think it's fun when you can do something like that, and then also you see that person kind of shine through what they choose. And everybody's hat looks great. It all looks awesome. So Dixie says she doesn't look good in hats either, but they always look good on everyone else. I know, same. I don't know if it's the shape of my head. Like, my head is small, not weird small, but like things, like I usually have to get, things are usually too big. Glasses, hats. And so I feel like, to me, I just don't look as good in them. Some girls look so darn cute. Brooke Riley had her hat on. She looks so cute in a hat. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But me and Crystal kind of hung together, and we picked out our stuff, and we were like, okay, we're doing the trucker hat thing. And I'm so glad I got it. Okay. I had to put a few coats of the pink on here because, again, pink it is what it is, but you can see that is covered. And you could do this. You could do white lettering if you wanted to. I liked the pink. Whenever I'm done, I'm going to put a little bit of this opal glitter medium that I get at Hobby Lobby. Screenshot it if you don't have it, because you will love it. Linda said she's not a hat person either. Yeah. Kid size hats for me, Sheila. Yes, that is true. I know I could do lettering on clothes too. That's become a big thing this year. Jeans, jackets. I know. I think that we need to branch out on some clothes, right? Some clothes, some shirts. I have done like acrylic paint or pins on a shirt before, and you can wash them and they do great. Okay. So now that everything is base coated, we have our bow is all, got some accents going on it. I am going to take some white paint, just a little bit. I do this technique a lot. I love this technique. It's just, I don't want to say it's my signature technique, but it's definitely something I do on a lot of things, and I love it. And it's just going to give it a kind of a vintagey look. So you can see the red here. See these little streaky lines? We're going to create that. It just gives it a little bit of texture, a little bit of something in the background without having to do too much. I love the way it looks. I've been doing it for years. What I'm going to do is use a chip brush. So you can get these at the craft store, at Walmart, in the paint section. And I'm just going to take my white, I'm just going to put a little bitty bit on my brush. There's not a lot. It's not globby. I'm blotting it off. I don't want too much. Less is better. You can always go back and add more, but you can't take away. Okay, so I'm gonna do this in a diagonal motion. So you could either move your brush like that, or if you're scared you might go off track, put your heart like this and just pretend like you're going vertical. And so we're going to take this. We are not going to press down hard and push down. No pressure at all. We want to just sweep the very tippy tops of the bristles across the sign. Kind of like when you're sweeping, think of a broom, one of those whatever kind of brooms. You're just sweeping, you're just getting the very tips, okay? And so I'm going to go like that. I'll show you close up what it looks like. I love the scraping on the edges. That's just me. If you don't like that, then don't do that. But do you see how it's here, but it's not here and it's not here? So what I'm going to do is take my brush and go the opposite direction and just kind of, it just kind of adds some of those thicker lines so that it looks more balanced. Okay, so here's the first go run. Now we're going to go this way with it. So you could either, you want it to be like a 90-degree angle right here. So you could, if you trusted yourself to go that way, you could do that, or you could pretend like this is a horizontal line and go vertical. Sometimes it's easier to do that. So we're just going to take this and run it across, and it almost looks like linen, kind of. It gives it like a little linen sort of canvasy look. And this is what it looks like. It just adds so much without really having to do too much. So, Dixie, I'm still hitting low levels. I have not been into Hobby Lobby. They don't sell this on Amazon. Look how, I barely have any left. But y'all, this has lasted me almost 2 years. And I use it. The ladies in my group can tell you I use it a lot. That's awesome. Donna said this technique was one of the favorite things I have taught her. It really makes everything look good. So if you're painting a plain colored sign, maybe you're not super experienced at painting and you can't do all the backgrounds and all the things, just doing this one technique here just kind of adds a little texture to your background. Then you can just do words on top, and it almost just kind of takes a plain looking sign and just makes it look a little, just steps it up a bit. Hey Heather, how are you? I'm so glad you finally caught me on here. I've missed seeing your face around here. Sheila said she picked up 3D fabric paint at Michael's on clearance this week. That's awesome. I did not see any of that. I was at Michael's, but Abby was rushing me out of the store. She was like, Mom, remember, you just came in for one thing. I was like, leave me alone. I want to go through every aisle and I want to look at all the things just in case there might be something that I need. But that's how I usually get in trouble. I went into Michael's to get some canvas blocks for my lettering group. Last week we made these really cute canvas blocks. Oh, aren't these cute? Just little shelf sitters here. I made this one, and while I'm waiting on that try, and this one here. They turned out so stinking cute. I love them so much. But I went into Michael's just to get some of those for that class, and I came out, I spent $100. Why did I spend $100? I did get paint that I needed, but that's why Amazon sometimes is good. Just because I don't get the things that I don't need. I just get the one thing that I need. I know, right? I'm like, did your dad tell you to come with me and say that? Sometimes I use them and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in the store. Y'all don't let me spend a lot of time. Just we're coming to get one thing, and they take that job very seriously. Of course, she wanted to go look at the, I don't know, stuffed animals she was gonna buy. Okay, so I'm gonna use some super glue, professional liquid Loctite is what I use. Any super glue will do. You use whatever you want. And I am just going to kind of line the inside of this. I'm not going all the way to the edge because it is going to kind of out. And so you don't want it to squeeze out on the edges. And then I'm just going to look right here and just make sure that I'm lined up well. And then as soon as I put it down, I kind of just put my, kind of feel like right here and just make sure everything is lined up. It sticks pretty quickly, so you don't have a lot of time. And then once that is there, I just kind of press down. And usually the Loctite for me has not, I feel like I might have got a bottle that I have to hold down just a little bit longer. It's been shifting on me more than normal. But I mean, after a couple minutes, it doesn't. But hey, Heidi, how are you? Heidi is new to the Happy Lettering Club. So y'all that are in the Happy Lettering Club, give her a hello. She is watching. Yeah, yes, definitely, Sheila, on the Amazon deals. That's for sure. Or the, it's too easy to buy. And so you just click, 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 click. For sure. Okay. Heather, I'm so glad you've been blessed with being busy with orders. That is a very good problem to have, for sure. They never are consistent, right? It's either a flood of orders or not enough. I always felt like when I used to paint, when I used to sell items that I painted, it was always just one or the other. It was never like just this happy medium. It was always like either I have too many orders and I don't have enough time to do them all, or I have no orders and I think that, oh my gosh, my business is going down the tubes. What's happened? Where are people? Why isn't anybody ordering? It's always one or the other. Oh, my carts always have things in them. Sometimes I put things in them that don't need to be in there, and then I just kind of leave it in there for a while, and then I eventually don't get it or get it. Okay. Oh, yes, I know. I know, Valerie. What kind of craft girl is she? No, Abby wanted to look at her own things. She didn't want to leave. She just wanted me to quit looking at the things that I wanted to look at, because she is just as bad. She is just as bad, but she's going to be my one child, I think, that will kind of take my place in the business, because she is very crafty, and my other two are crafty or creative. My middle daughter's crafty too. My oldest is not crafty. She's just creative in her own, like, she's creative with like writing and stuff. Not lettering, but like writing words. She's creative with words. My middle daughter loves to do all the projects too, but Abby is just way more crafty than they are. Naturally, she has a whole craft store at her fingertips. Okay, so what I do is I kind of line up the words, kind of get them situated on the board how I want. And I use these paint pads. You can get them at Walmart or anywhere. It's just a paper palette. And it feels like wax paper. So when I have really skinny words like this, I use my paint pad. And what I do is just take my super glue and I just do this, kind of make a little zigzag. You can't really see it, and then I just drop this on here and just kind of move it around. And then that way it gets that super glue on the backs of all these words without you having to like use that bottle. And this is kind of the hard part when I'm on camera, because usually I'm going to hover right over my sign and glue it on, but I can't do that. Otherwise you'll just see my big old head in the camera. So I'm always like, please let me get this straight. Okay, that looks all right. So I'm going to take the other word here. And so if you take all the words off and then you try to put the words on, piece of glitter, chances are you might mess up on getting them lined up. So I always put them down on the sign first and do just one piece at a time. That way I can make sure everything is lined up like I want. And this, again, prevents you from having to sit there and kind of dot all the backs of all the letters, because you'll get too much on there and it will squeeze out the sides, which is fine, but that's just kind of an easy way to do it. Looks pretty good there. So words are on there. Now here is where I'm going to do something a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to do the opal glitter medium in just a minute, but on here, I've just, so you know, I did it over the letters and then I did it over this bow here, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. Actually, you know what? I didn't use opal glitter medium. I used the Folk Art Extreme Glitter. Let me get this right here. It's just the only reason I did this because it's just a little bit softer, or the flecks of glitter are just a little bit smaller. And so sometimes I think on wording, it looks a little bit better. Either way, it looks good. It was either that or it dries faster too. So that might have been why I did it. I don't really know. So Sheila said, have you thought about adding a scored line to your piece, or do you not, in case you don't want to add the words? So Sheila, I don't add the scored lines. And the reason is I have found that, number one, I want to give people the option. What if they don't want to do the wording? So if I don't put the scored lines on there, they have the option to leave off the wording if they want. But also I have found that when I do the scored lines and I'm trying to put the lettering over the scored lines, it is very, very difficult to get it lined up, especially when you have a whole word. Like if you're off just a little bit here, you can see those scored lines. I have found in my experience that it is really difficult to line them up and get them exactly perfect on top of those etched lines. Now, when it's just a shape like this, it's pretty easy, but there's all these ins and outs here. And I always find it to be really difficult. So I figure it is easier to just kind of wing it and put it on there. Now I like to give people kind of key points like, hey, kind of look, make sure this middle piece lines up with right here on the A, you know, and just kind of give them ideas like that. But and then I also just like to give people the option, if they don't want to add the words, they don't have to, because I don't know why. I'm just always thinking about stuff like that, and like how people might want to change it or all the things. So that's why I don't. I've seen it where people use the inset when it is a chunkier piece. I know. So okay, I don't like to paint. Now y'all might, so you know, but I always try to see like what is hard for me, and I figure if it's hard for me, it's probably gonna be hard for everybody else. And I feel like with the inset words, when you're trying to like do the lettering on top of the inset words, I find it just harder to kind of stay within those lines. I don't know. Does anybody else feel the same way? I find it hard to stay within the lines. So this is the Extreme Folk Art Extreme Glitter, or you could use the Opal Glitter Medium, whichever. They're just a little bit different. The Extreme Glitter is just smaller. But I find it very hard to keep within the lines. And then you can kind of see where the outline is. It shows, I don't know. I think it's harder. But I know a lot of people do it and they're probably used to it and whatever. But does anybody else struggle with that? Dixie says she finds it hard. I think she was talking about lining the cutout words on the etched lines. But I don't know. I found it very difficult to like letter inside those etched lines, because if you get the marker on top of the etched line, it doesn't go into the crack. It is on the outside, like it's on the inside, outside, and you still see that crack. Now, I did do some signs for Christmas on the kits that I did, and those were smaller, and so I was able to use my my glaze pen that y'all see me using for lettering sometimes. I was able to use that glaze pen for that lettering, and that worked out good. But door hangers are a lot bigger, and I think it would just take you forever to use that glaze pen because it's small. So I don't know. I think it's all just what we're accustomed to using, but those are my thoughts on it. We have tried to do that a few times, and I think the general consensus was it was harder. Okay, I'm just gonna get a brush and brush the rest of this glitter on the ribbon. And I'm just using this because it dries faster. The Opal Glitter Medium is amazing, but it takes a little bit longer to dry. And I'm gonna take this one step further here in just a minute. We're gonna zhuzh it up a little bit. And so I want this glitter to be kind of dry. So it looks white in spots right now, but it will dry clear and you will not see it, and you will just see a sparkle. Now I like this. It's like a holographic color, and I like it because it is not like super bold in your face like what I'm about to do to this little sign. It just gives it a hint of glitter. When the sun shines on it, you can kind of see it kind of shimmering, and it's just not super obnoxious. So if you can see, let's see if I can point it towards, see, it just gives it a little bit of shimmer there where it, from far away you can't really see it, but when the light gleams on it, it just looks like it glistens, kind of like beautiful glistening, like snow. You know how the snow looks when the sun shines on it and it's just kind of glistening. Hey, Miss Janice, she said she does have the same problem with the lines. Yeah. I thought my husband's about to come in here, but he's not. So that big old bow, Dixie said that big old bow would look cute with polka dots. It would. Here's my thought. Okay, so I got this glitter at Michael's, and do y'all remember the ornaments that I made with the super chunky kind of glitter on the, just kind of on one half? I don't have a picture or an example here, or else I'd show you. But I thought to just take that chunky glitter and just kind of run a line, just do it on the bottom corner. I'm going to try it on the bottom corner of one bow, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay. And then we'll see if we want to do it on the other. So see the difference in these? They look very similar. The colors are just a little bit different, but again, everything looks different every time you do it. So how I'm going to achieve this is I'm going to take this, screenshot it, or you can come back and screenshot it here. This regular gel gloss, it's like a heavy body acrylic medium. I got this on Amazon, and it helps like the glitter kind of sit in it. I'm going to show you. Marilyn, Marilyn, this is Reflections brand. I threw away the little sticky tag here, but it is Reflections, I believe was the brand. This is okay, if you go to Michael's, they have like on some little kiosks in the middle of the store, they have like Valentine's Day crafts, and that's where I found this. They had a couple of different ones. That's where me and Abby found this. This is actually, I have Abby to thank for this because she is the one that went over to this section and saw it and wanted it. Or, she was looking at it. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bowl because I want to mix this glitter in a little bowl. And I did not think to do that before the video because I've never used this before, but we're gonna use it. I'm just gonna take one at a time. So this glitter is a little chunkier. Like it's not just glitter. It's got like these little, it's kind of like beads, but that's the look that I was kind of wanting. I probably won't use all of this. I'm just going to use some of it, but I'm not going to use this one right here. This is like those fake bake sprinkles, which are super cute. We did the sprinkles with our hot cocoa mugs in the Sign Maker Society last month, but just not the look I'm going for this. I've been seeing a lot of things lately on Pinterest where they're just doing this chunky glitter on like little tags and stuff. And y'all, I'm loving it so much. So I've been dying to try it out. Probably shouldn't have put these that are kind of flat on one end in the same bowl. So I'll probably have to turn those over. So to get started, what you're gonna need is some of this chunky or this thick, clear body. It's like paste, kind of. And this is very good because it takes a long time to dry. So that you're able to kind of maneuver the glitter around in it. And you have, if you use Mod Podge dries pretty fast. And so you kind of don't have a lot of time to play with it. So we're going to use this. I bought these at Michael's as well. These little rubber like spatulas. And this is going to help me kind of spread the glitter out and get it on here the way that I want. So I'm just going to take this. You could use a palette knife too. That's what I've used before, but I saw this and I wanted to get it. So there. And I want to kind of do like, so a palette knife would probably be best just to get it on here. And then use this to move around. Let's see. You don't need all the fancy tools. You could use a little butter knife if you wanted to. So I'm just getting some on here, but I want it thick enough where I can move this stuff around. And they have somewhere to like burrow, if you will. And this will dry clear so you won't see it once it's dry. Okay, so it looks like this. It's nice and thick. Now we're gonna sprinkle the glitter on here. I want it really chunky. And then I'm gonna take, here's what I thought this would be good for, this right here, and just kind of spread it out so that I don't have to use my hands to do it. I'm just going to kind of move these around and get it nice and thick on here. And that's so cute. It looks really good, y'all, when it's all dry. Okay, and you can do this as thick or not thick as you want. Now, I'm going to kind of just, I always run my fingers around the edges because sometimes some's like hanging off. No, I didn't even use hardly all of that at all. So I keep a pair of little tweezers. There's some of these little designs that are like, they're flat on one end and like have little designs on the other. So I'm just going to use this to kind of flip any of those over. So this stuff is really good if you have like thicker things that you want to stick to your projects, like buttons or things like that. Like Mod Podge is very hard because that is a very thin layer. It's like paint. It makes it a little bit difficult. And again, I like this because it takes a while to dry. So I can have some time to kind of move things around and situate them before we are all dry. And this white will dry clear, so you will not see it. All you're going to see is this chunky glitter. And I'll post a picture once this is all dry, like close up, so you can kind of see. And you can go back through and add a little bit more if you feel like you didn't have enough in certain areas. But this is really cute for like sequence. Let me get some of this. And if you wanted to add just a little bit more, you could go back in, add a little bit more, and kind of just smash it in a little bit so that it's, it's secure. So I'm just flipping all these, the one type that I have. That you could also take a layer of that and run it over the top if you wanted to, make sure all of it was stuck down. That is up to you. Like if you were worried some might come off, or you could kind of just dab a little bit. Because again, it's all going to dry clear. And you don't have to sit and, flip all these over, but I am going to. You could even take some of these that are kind of sitting here on top that maybe don't feel like they're stuck. And you could just kind of scrape a little bit on here. You could use your pink pokey thing too to help you get them in there. Again, you don't have to sit and do all this, but I got to make it look good for y'all. And just do it over a surface where you have like some paper or something like that you can just kind of pour all the extra back into the little cup. But you could mix and match and make your own with just all kinds of glitters and use different confettis, different beads, buttons, all of the things. I found some other chunky glitter that I'm going to use. I'll show you in just a minute. Not on this one, but I'm going to use coming up. I have a lot of really cute. But you can make your own. But this Valentine's, I liked how it had like four different kind in there. So it sort of gave me a little, it's like a variety pack. Just get a few more. Few more of these, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Where are we? Yeah. And then I'm gonna do now. You could take your hands and like kind of press down, make sure everything's firm. Or your little spatula if you wanted to. Or just know when it dries, some of it might flake off a little bit, but most of it will not. Most of it's going to be stuck in there like glue. Okay, and so this is what it looks like, and it's just shimmery and it's cute. It's, you know, it's hard to see in the camera view, but it's just like on that little edge. I don't know. I think it's cute. And you could do it on both sides if you wanted to. I almost kind of think it looks cute. Do y'all think I should do it on both sides or just the one? I almost just think it's kind of cute on one side, but does it look like it's unfinished? Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me what you think. Have you used that to make your own glitter paint? I have not used this, but I've used Mod Podge to make glitter paint. Marilyn said she got some of these spatulas from Michael's and she can't wait to use them. Sheila said she's found the golden in the fine arts section of Joann's and Michael's store. Yes. So darling. Now I'm getting complete. Let's see. Valerie said just one side. Michelle said both. Marilyn said just one side. So I guess you're outvoted, Michelle. I kind of just think, you know, one side, two sides might be a little much, but the one side is really cute. And how cute is that? And so if you had like some little Valentine's Day tags, you could do that just on the edge. Again, I did some ornaments like this, and then I just, you know, they were round and we just did them on kind of one edge, and then we wrote the word here. But how cute would it be to do some like little Valentine's Day hearts and just kind of do that like here, just kind of do it like right, like on that edge, and then write a name on it or something like that. I think it just adds some fun to your sign. So I'm going to be doing, I think I'm going to do some more. I'm definitely going to do some more of that in my groups, but I wanted to show you all some of the other glitter that I bought. I bought this like Easter kind of glitter, and I thought this would be really cute to add some kind of chunky elements into. And then they also had this. It has little seashells. I don't know if you can see it really well, but so the key is to have kind of a variety of things. You can get like some gems, but just all these kind of different. So this one has like little gold stars, and it has seashells, and then it has sequins. So if not to use just the glitter, but use the glitter mixed in with like some other elements like little jewels or beads or something like that. So you could probably find a lot of things just hanging out around your house that like some craft supplies that you have, like if anybody's got any sequins or glitter or buttons or gems. I'm trying to think of what else. I found a whole variety of things at the thrift store this last year. I went and they had a whole bag of like sequins and things like that. So I was excited. But you can kind of like mix and match and make your own things with what you have. I see this little spot that needs something. So this is still wet. It probably won't be fully dry for a few hours. I usually do, when I've used it, I usually do it at night, and then by the next morning it's all dry. So just depending. But anyway, once it's all dry, you won't see the white underneath. It'll be clear and it will look a lot better. But it just makes it a little more fabulous. So just something a little fun. Hopefully y'all like that and it gives you some inspiration. Sheila said the bow part gets a little lost. Maybe match a color from the glitter to accent. Oh, yeah. Why don't we do that? Let's see. There is some bright pink. There's also some red. We could add a little bit of, y'all tell me in the comments, do you think the bright pink or red? And just add a few little accents. I normally accent everything, but I have heard from a lot of the ladies in my groups that they struggle with that. So I've kind of strayed away from accenting as much as I used to, because I'm always worried, like I don't want to make things difficult or make people think it's not going to look good if they don't accent. So, but I do agree it does look good. So y'all tell me. Michelle said red. I'm thinking red too. Why don't we do red? And then if we need to add a little, oh, I already have some red there. We need to add a little pink, we can do that too. So I'm just going to get this. I usually accent with this Master's Touch. It's a 2000 series and it's a number 4. I've been using these for years to accent with. I get them at Hobby Lobby and they're sold individually. But just any kind of a liner brush will do. Let's see. Sheila said maybe a little both, or add in a white or silver that matches and brings the glitter. I wonder what I'm trying to look and visualize. So I got this. I'm wondering if gold is going to look good, because there is a little bit of gold in some of this glitter. The silver is more of like a metallic-y light pink that looks like silver. It looks like there's silver in there, but really, I don't really think there is. I think it's the backs of some. Well, I guess maybe there's a little bit of silver. The metallic silver, I don't feel like is very metallic-y. Every time I use it, it just looks gray. So let's see what a little, I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes you just got to do it as you go. So I'm going to, the key is also to make sure your paint is not, like, make sure it's fresh and wet and not dried out, because then your accents will not look the same. It won't, you know. And then I just get a teeny tiny bit on the tip of my brush. If you can see that, it's not very much at all. And I'm just going to use a very tip of the brush to do the accent. So I'm not going to push down or put any pressure on it. And I'm just going to kind of sweep it like this. We're just going to put it where these lines are. Just around the edge, and we're just kind of brushing it. And sometimes you just got to kind of do things a little bit at a time. And if you look at it and you're like, it still needs something else, then go back and kind of decide then. Sometimes we don't have all the answers right until you are in the moment and you are doing it. So can I just take it a little bit at a time? Okay. So here, I'm wondering if, let me see what I have. We can try some silver and see what happens. I just want it to look silver. You could also just do some like white accents around here as well. Let's see what let's try that out. I got some white still here. I'm just kind of, some people like to do this with their paint pen. You can do that with your paint pen also. Now let's take some pink and do a little bit of pink here. Probably should have done a little bit of pink instead of white. There. Even though there's gold in that glitter, I almost feel like if I use gold, let's try the silver first and we'll see what, well, let's say a little bit of metallic gold. Okay, so y'all think I should try the gold? Let's try the gold and see what happens. It does look silver the way the light is hitting it, but really it's not. I just always have trouble with the, like, silver just doesn't look, it just looks gray. Does anybody else have that problem when they try to use some metallic silver? So this is just a little bit of metallic gold, because gold always makes everything look a little more fabulous. So I like these signs though, because they're easy enough that if you're a beginner, you can do it and you don't have to have a lot of painting experience. But then if you are a little bit craftier and you want to kind of do something a little bit more, you can do that. There's things to do. There's always ways to dress things up. Okay, and so I'm just kind of I'm not going on top of the red, just going kind of beside it a little bit and just kind of just doing a few like that. So it doesn't have to be a solid line. It can be. Do whatever you're comfortable with. So that is what the gold looks. It kind of looks a little yellowish, but that just kind of adds a little bit. It does make the bow not feel so drowned out. So I do like that. A lot of times what I used to do, the old Jennifer would have done the lettering in black and would have used some black around here. I used black around everything, just very, very faint, not very dark. That is what I have always done in the past. But I'm coming out of my shell and trying to do it a little bit, adding more color to my works. Renee said she likes using the metallic paint pens because they look they are more pigmented. That's a really good point, Renee. I probably should have done that. I probably should have done that. But I also, a lot of times I will use my Pentel Glitterific top. I probably could have just done that instead of add the gold paint, but you can't really see it, but it's there, I promise. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know that I love this part, but I definitely like the way the bow looks. This, I feel like I got it just a little too thick, but it is what it is. But I do think it looks better. So thank you for that suggestion, Sheila. I love it. Y'all are so creative. I love getting ideas from you guys. So here we are. I'm wondering, now I'm feeling like I just want to just do a tiny touch, just a tiny touch. I know some of y'all are probably like, oh my gosh, don't. But I want to do a teeny weeny tiny bit. And I'm going to use another brush that is way smaller, that is just a little smaller. And if you could just see the barely tiny little amount that I'm putting on here. Sometimes just that black just adds, may not look as great with all these other colors on here, but it just adds makes it stand out just a little more. Kind of gives it the pop it needs. But you definitely have to make sure you go very light with it, because otherwise the contrast, you don't want it to stand out. You don't want it to be like somebody's looking at that and that's all they see is black. So you have to be very careful with this. Maybe this will kind of make that look a little bit better. Okay. See how that black just kind of It just adds a little bit to it without it being super bold and overbearing. But it just is really, really faint. I did it super, super light, teeny tiny skinny brush, but it's like just enough to kind of like, when you see it from far away, it kind of gives it an outline and kind of a good contrasted look. So I think I got my accents a little too much around the heart. I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine. So anyway, there we go. And then you have a string will come with your kit. I didn't put a bow on this because I felt like she's got a bow here and a bow up here. I don't think that would look good. So everybody will get a string like this in their kit. And if you'll just tie a knot on one end of your string, just like that. And from the front back, I just take this, I twist it in the direction that it's twisted here so that it goes in easier, and just pull it here. And then we're gonna do it the same. And then just figure out how long you want it. I'm not gonna do it that long because I feel like that's too much. I like mine a little shorter like this. I'm going to tie another knot here and then cut off the extra. And then I'm going to take it outside, spray seal it. I spray seal all my signs with a gloss spray sealer. Do I have any over here so I can show y'all? I don't. I use a Rust-Oleum clear gloss sealer. So I'll just spray it just to kind of lock everything in. This is all going to dry, and it looks super fabulous. So isn't that cute? Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So if anybody wants to purchase this kit, I do have some in my shop. I put the link in the description. If you are a sign maker and you have your own laser machine, or you cut your signs out with a jigsaw, I also sell the template and the SVG file that is for laser machines. It's all engraved. It's got the raised wood lettering. You could purchase that too. So you've got a couple of options. Deb said, guess she better head on over to the store for this cutie. It is very cute and I love it. This, I think this is just a cute kind of sign to go anywhere, really. And you could even just, you know, leave the words off if you wanted to and just do the sign, the heart and the bow. Super cute. So here's the easy version here. Cute, cute. And here's the advanced version. Easy and advanced. This one definitely looks a lot better. And you're right, Sheila, on the bow. Good call on that. Like, you're right. It does kind of fade in the background of the sign. So I love the accents on it so much better. So whether you're a beginner or you want to go advanced with it, either way, you can do it. So, okay, well, that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next week, we're going to be doing some watercolor, like hand lettering on watercolor, like some Valentine's Day cards. So that will be fun. And I can't wait. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Bye.